Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube channel of BeingACCA. This is Tushita Gupta, ACCA affiliate, and today we are going to be solving Abkaber PLC question. Abkaber PLC assembles three types of motorcycle at the same factory: the 50cc Sunshine, the 250cc Roadster, and the 1000cc Fireball. Historically, the company has allocated all overhead costs using total direct labor hours, but is now considering introducing activity based costing ABC. Abkaber PLC's accountant has produced the following analysis: annual output, direct annual labor hours, selling price, raw material costs, everything is given for the three products right over here. And the three cost drivers that generate overheads are, okay, so these are the details of the overheads that are, why are these overheads generated? And then we have the drivers, and then we have the total annual overhead costs. The all direct labor is paid at $5 per hour. The company holds no inventories. At a board meeting, there was some concern over the introduction of activity based costing. The finance director argued, I very much doubt whether selling the Fireball is viable, but I am not convinced that activity based costing would tell us any more than the use of labor hours in assessing the viability of each product. The marketing director argued, I am in the process of negotiating a new major contract with a motorcycle rental company for the Sunshine model. For such a big order, they will not pay our normal prices, but we need to at least cover our incremental costs. I am not convinced that activity costing would achieve this, as it merely averages costs for our entire production. The managing director argued, I believe that activity based costing would be an improvement, but it still has its problems. For instance, if we carry out an activity many times, surely we get better at it and costs fall rather than remain constant. Similarly, some costs are fixed and do not vary either with labor hours or any cost driver. The chairman argued, I cannot see the problem. The overall profit for the company is the same no matter which method of allocating overheads we use. It seems to make no difference to me. Alright, so there are a different variety of people with different variety of opinions. Let's get to the first question. It asks us, what is the split of annual overhead costs for each product using the existing method of labor hours to attribute the overheads? Okay, so we need to use the existing method of labor hours, and we need to tell how much would be for each of the three products over here. My total overhead costs are given over here, and let me find the total labor hours. My total labor hours is 200,000 plus 220,000 plus 80,000, which gives me 500,000. If I may write that over here, this is 500,000, right? So I'm just going to use this method of allocation, uh, attribute them into the ratios. So this was 12 million, right? And for the first one, it will be allocated as 200 divided by 500. You can take the entire numbers 200,000 and divide that by 500,000. Either ways, the answer would be same, basic maths. For 200 by 500, I get my answer as 4,800. So according to this is the for Sunshine, right? Yeah, so this should be this is the first value that I'm getting. Then let's take it for the other one. The second product is Roadster, which is 220. So if I do 220 by 500, I will get my answer as 220 by 500 and then multiply it by 12 million. I will get my answer as 5280, which is exactly this figure. And then for Fireball, even though we know the answer is this, but let's just still find out the answer. 80 by 500. So 80 divided by 500, and then I will multiply it by 12 million. So 80 by 500 into 12 million gives me 1920 again. So B becomes my right answer. Moving on to the next question, what level of overheads would be attributed to the Fireball product if Abkaber PLC introduced activity-based costing? Okay, so for this we need to find out that these are the total costs that have been incurred. How much out of this is for the Fireball product? So we know that the drivers to retailers, this cost is caused due to the number of deliveries of motorcycles to retail showrooms. The number of deliveries, if I total these up, totaling all of them up, 100 plus 80 plus 70 gives me 250, and 35 plus 40 plus 25 gives me 100, and then 300 plus 400 plus 100 gives me 800. Right, so these are the totals that I have over here. Now I need to find out the overhead cost for Fireball product. For Fireball product, deliveries to retailers is this is the total cost. Then I'm just going to multiply this by 70 because that is the number of deliveries I have for the Fireball product, and then going to divide it by the total number of deliveries, which was 250. Then again for setup costs, it's going to be for Fireball there are 25 setups, so 25 by 100. And similarly for purchase orders, this is going to be 100 divided by 800. Right, so this is how I can find out the allocation. So 2400,000 into 70 by 250 gives me 672,000. I'm just going to keep writing the numbers over here. 672,000, and then I'm going to add the second cost, which is 6 million, and I'm going to multiply this by 25 and divide this by 100, so this gives me 1500,000. Right, just going to take the last one for purchase orders, 3600,000 into 100 and dividing this by 800, and I get it as 450,000. So plus 450,000, right? So if I just add these up, 672,000 plus 150,000. So this makes it 2622,000, which is option C. So I get my answer as C. Moving to the next question, which one of the following statements is true about the difference in overhead attribution for the Fireball product when comparing about existing and new methods, and how it may affect management decisions about this product? Both methods are acceptable, so management should not be concerned if overhead costs are higher for this product using ABC. No, because management should be able to find out that due to this product you are incurring more overheads, so that is why you should allocate more overheads to this instead of attributing those overhead costs to other products which are not even responsible for incurring those overhead costs, right? So let's read the next statement. ABC seems to be a more useful method for understanding the costs related to Fireball, as the low volumes of Fireball sales cause a relatively high amount of setups, deliveries, and purchase processes. Now if you look at the information over here, the fraction is pretty less. If you see for Fireball, it's only 70 out of 250, 25 out of 100, and 100 out of 800. So because we are selling Fireball in very small quantities, that is the reason that we still have to go for deliveries, we still have to go for setups, we still have to go for purchase orders. So that is why the difference is more, and ABC does provide a more useful method so that the costs are understood in a better manner. So this is correct. Using ABC is likely to result in a higher profit being recognized for the Fireball product. No. The best way to improve the overhead cost for the Fireball is to find efficiencies that reduce labor hours on this product. No. So my answer is option B. Then moving on to the fourth question. The fourth question says, which of the following statements are true? The finance director is correct. ABC will not provide any further information in assessing how viable the Fireball product is, as it's just a different approach to allocating costs. So, first statement is actually false because it can provide the management with more accurate information. so that you're able to find out that due to which product you are incurring which costs, so that it is better for the management to understand that okay, this product is the reason why we are spending this much of money. So this statement is false. Then moving to the second statement, the marketing director is correct. ABC can't help with improving our understanding of the incremental costs of the product, as it just averages costs for the entire production. So ABC can actually be more helpful with accuracy of the costs. However, the accuracy also depends on identifying the cost drivers. It just not averages the cost, it takes out the cost drivers. So if you are estimating the cost drivers, maybe you take up wrong drivers that can cause it to be correct, but the reason that the marketing director has given is not correct. So let's read the third statement. The managing director is correct. ABC normally assumes that the cost per activity is constant as the number of times the activity is repeated increases. In practice, there may be a learning curve, such as costs per activity are non-linear. As a result, marginal cost of increasing the number of activities is not same as the average. Now, this statement is true because the learning curve concept applies over here. Since an activity is done again and again, we also, like when we try to perform something, when we've done it once, twice, thrice, we get the hang of it and then we are able to do it quicker. So there is a learning curve. That's why the third statement is true. So my answer is option D. Moving on to the last question, the chairman has stated that it is irrelevant which costing method is used as overall company profit will be unchanged. Which of the following is an advantage of ABC use is an advantage of using ABC despite it having no impact on overall company profits? So the chairman is absolutely correct because the profits remain same. It's just the way of allocating the overhead cost that differs, right? So it says that which of the following is an advantage of using ABC despite no impact on company profits. So it can allocate costs to specific activities with complete accuracy. No method can be completely accurate because you might make mistakes in identifying the cost drivers. It is quick and cheap to introduce. No, that is not at all true. In fact, for organizations, implementing ABC is very costly and can take a lot of time to implement. It is most useful in situation when overheads are a small proportion of overhead costs. No. Overheads will have to be of a large proportion for ABC to have a more beneficial impact on the organization. That just leaves with that just leaves us with option D. However, let's read the statement. It provides a more accurate cost per unit, which helps the management with taking decisions about specific products. Now, this is true because since ABC allocates the cost according to the cost drivers, so that is why we get to have a more accurate cost per unit, and then management can take their decisions accordingly. With this, we have come to an end to this question. Stay tuned for the next video. You can also let us know in the comments down below which question do you want us to solve next. Thank you.